say, kids, what time is it?
Hey, it's Edson at GeekTime TV, and I wanted to talk about this trailer for The Lord of the Rings of Power, coming up on Amazon in about a month and a half now. I think this trailer came out maybe a week ago. I wanted to talk about it before, but I lost my voice and a few days ago, and hopefully I sound better now. Before I get into it, please take a moment to subscribe. It really does help us grow the channel. And spoilers. I'm by far not a Tolkien expert, but I probably know enough to make me dangerous. I'll probably be slipping in some things that will be considered spoilers. Not that I know much about this series because it hasn't aired yet, but it'll probably be from Tolkien's writings. So spoiler alert before you see the video. Okay, let's get into this.
There was a time when the world was so young. There had not yet been a sunrise. But even then, there was light.
Okay, sounds like, looks like the character of Galadriel, maybe introducing the series. Hopefully she's not talking about the actual time period that the series takes place, because the one thing that's been confirmed is that the series takes place during what Tolkien calls the Second Age, which means the first age has already passed, and that's probably around like 2,000 years. So the world is not young by the time this series starts, but this could possibly be maybe a prologue in the first episode talking about the past age prior to the events of the series, which is a little curious that they would waste seconds talking about an age where the series doesn't even take place in, because the trailers are not that long, so you probably want to put things that are pertinent in it. So I'm not sure why they would have something about the past on this trailer. All right, let's see.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect. Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
Okay, sounds like this character, I'm not sure who this character is, but basically that looked like they were just introducing the four races that are affected by, or that are going to be in the series. You got the elves, the dwarves, humans, and what they call, this character calls the Harfoots, which seem to be maybe a predecessor of the hobbits that we saw in the Lord of the Rings. Not sure if they're directly related or not, but that seems to be a type of different type of hobbit maybe. And the way she goes around introducing the other races seems kind of judgmental, actually, reducing them to just one characteristic. The elves are more than just, they do more than just take care of trees. They're very wise. They have powerful. They have magic powers. Dwarves do more than just mining. They're craftsmen. They build strong and sophisticated structures, and humans certainly do more than just tend the fields. They basically just tend the fields for food, but there's a lot more to them than that. And she seems to be reducing all these other races to just one characteristic, while she talks about her race as being they're all together, and they're I'm not sure where the correlation between being together and being safe. I mean, does being together give them some kind of special powers? I don't know. Seems like just something that's thrown out there just to introduce the races, and not very well.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
You have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen.
Okay, I have a lot of issues with this scene. It's with Galadriel and Elrond, well-known elves. Very wise, very intelligent. Doesn't seem like this scene would be something that would happen. That they look like they're just being petty to each other. Galadriel, the way it looks like is being portrayed in this series, is someone who is armor clad, warlike, just goes into battle, wielding a sword, and that's seems like that would be her strength in this series, which is completely different than what Tolkien wrote the character of Galadriel. Tolkien's Galadriel is a very wise elf, a leader, intelligent. She has magical powers. She can tell the future sometimes, and that may be because she's so intelligent that she can just kind of like put things together and make good guesses. But it could just be part of her magical power as well. She can telepathically communicate over long distances, which you would think is very, very valuable in terms of warning people or creating a plan. And it's just totally different. Her totally different than what they seem to be portraying her here as. Just they make it seem like in this series they make it seem like her value isn't just she's not powerful unless she's out there wielding a sword and hacking away at enemies, which is like completely different than the character of Galadriel that Tolkien wrote about. Now maybe some people might say, well, this is the second age, and by the time she gets to the Lord of the Rings story, that'll be the third age. Maybe she becomes wise over that time, but that wouldn't be true anyways, because Galadriel was actually born in the first age. Elves are basically immortal in terms of they don't die of old age. So she was born in the first age, and by the time the second age comes around, she's probably right around 700 years old. She's already that wise, powerful elf that doesn't need to wield a sword in order to show what type of person she is and her qualities. So I don't know. I really not liking the way this particular character, which is one of my favorite characters, is being portrayed here, and just this exchange, this petty exchange, like they're like trying to one up each other. It's like, oh, I've seen more battles than you, or I've seen more. That would never happen between two elves of this caliber.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth.
It will be the end, not just of our people,
But all peoples.
Okay, looks like they're trying to convey maybe whatever villain is coming to this series, whatever it is that these four races will have to fight. They talk about this dark, mysterious darkness, and you see all these reactions, these fearful and anxious reactions, but you don't really get. I would have liked to have seen something in the trailer that gives you like a real sense of what that enemy is going to be like. Why is it so fearful? Why are these people so fearful? I'd like to see something from of what the enemy will be like. I mean, if it's the second age, it's most likely going to be Sauron. Sorry, spoiler. Because in the second age, during the second age is the rise of Sauron, and the forging of all the rings of power, and the way he tries to get that one ring to control, to reign over everybody. But I don't really get the sense of anybody like any really fearful enemy coming.
I'm sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all.
The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
Okay, horrible, horrible. That's probably one of the most horrible lines, one of the most obnoxious lines I've heard. The past is dead, and we either move forward or we die with it. That's completely opposite of Tolkien. I mean, that he just, he writes about traditions and the value of remembering traditions. He has, if you can remember parts of, if you haven't read the books, if you remember Aragorn and in the Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, the way he has stories about great deeds done by other people in the past and how they inspired him to be who he is. That's why we want to remember the past, to be inspired. And even in today, with our own lives, the conveniences that we have today, the freedoms that we have today, given to us because people in the past have sacrificed, and we don't want to forget that. We want to be teaching every generation that happened. That way, we could be appreciative and remember all the things that have happened and they inspire us to do better. Which doesn't mean that we just whitewash over all the horrible things that haven't happened in the past either. We want to learn about those as well and remember those because each generation needs to be vigilant of the signs of that those terrible things might be coming back, and they'll know those signs and rise up to stop them. So the past is very, very precious. We don't ever want to forget the past, and I'm not sure why this message is being given here.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Some action shots there again, completely un-Galadriel, like her doing some Matrix moves and wielding a sword, hacking away. Again, I know I don't want to keep going on and on about it, but just the way they portray Galadriel here doesn't give me a lot of hope for this series. She's just, it's almost making it seem like there's only value in her if she can, like, fight and physically, kill people or anything, which is like totally not who she is.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
All right, that's it. There was some really nice visuals, I'll admit that, but there seems to be, what I get out of this, that there's some major issues with the actual story. Basically, just I know I already talked about this, but basically, the way they portray Galadriel, again, it's just completely not the way Tolkien wrote her, and which is a shame because I think the character of Galadriel can definitely make this whole series. If you want to make her the main character, she can just run with it if she was portrayed like Tolkien wrote her. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen here, so I don't know how that's going to go. Also, there didn't seem to be in this whole trailer, unless I missed it, and you can leave it in the comments if I missed it, but you don't really get a sense of whatever danger's coming or anything like that. You get a lot of fearful looks, but you don't really get a sense of what the danger that's coming. And finally, that whole thing about forgetting the past. First of all, the very beginning of the trailer, where the character of Galadriel talks about when the world was young. Well, why bother having her talk about the past if your message is to forget the past? That doesn't make sense. And it seems to be a message that just to the audience, basically, about we want this series not to be about how Tolkien wrote it. That's the past. No, we want to make this series to reflect what things are going on today, or what the showrunners think that the world should be like, which is, it's crazy. It's like, okay, this is a news alert here, news flash. Tolkien's work does not need to be changed. It does not need to be updated. It doesn't have any problems with his work. It's perfect the way it is. That's the whole point. That's why it's been popular for what, like more than 60 years now. It was being taught in English back when I was in high school, and that was back in the 1980s. It stood the test of time. It doesn't need to be changed. Things like Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and even Frank Herbert's Dune's books, and more recent J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, those do not need to be updated in some way because they're problematic. There is no problem with them. They're written exactly how they should be because they're written by the people who created them. And this concept of people out there trying to update them somehow or change them because they think there's problems. No, there's no problems with them. How about, people who want to do this, how about you create your own story and see and create it like you want it to your world to reflect, and see how popular yours is compared to the Lord of the Rings, and see how that goes. It's no writer's work should ever, no one should ever pick up a creation and say, oh, this needs to be changed, because it was written exactly how, no matter who the writer is, it was written exactly how the writer wanted it to be, and that's the way it should be. And I don't know, it just gets me when people try to say that these things should be changed. Anyways, as you could probably tell, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get into this series when it does come out, because this trailer does seem to bring up a lot of problems. So I don't know how far I'm going to get into this series based on this trailer, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it is good, but based on this trailer, that doesn't give me a lot of hope for that. Please leave me any comments. Let me know what you think about the trailer. Let me know if you disagree or agree. And I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up below. Also, please subscribe to GeekTime TV. It really helps us grow the channel. And make sure you hit that bell icon in order to receive notifications every time we drop new content here. You can also check us out on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at GeekTimeNet. Thanks again for watching. We will see you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?